Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to use Adobe XD to create a transition between two colors so it looks like they're blending into each other. This might come in handy for loading screens or just cool animations where you want shapes to slowly change colors. So let's get right into the tutorial. Okay, so this first example we're going to look at is the loading screen. So as you can see, I have the bare bones right here. I have this shape, and what we're going to do is make this fill up with sort of a morphing gradient color. So to do that, I'm going to copy and paste this shape, and I'm just going to make it a different color for now so we can see it. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than this so it just fits nicely inside. So I'm gonna go with 3 pixels on each side. Okay, so now we have our starting point. Now what I'm gonna do is select this, and for the beginning of the animation we want it to be really small. So if we want this to be a gradient that morphs into a different color, what we're going to do is first create the gradient as a separate shape. So we're going to just create it down here. I'm going to get rid of the border. I'm going to go into fill, switch it from solid color to linear gradient. And I want the gradient to go from left to right instead of top to bottom. So I'm going to get rid of this little guy just by dragging it out. We don't need that little point. Okay, so let's select this color. Maybe that we want that to be the red, and then maybe we want that to morph into this orange. Cool. So now that we have this, what we're going to do is mask it with this shape. So we're going to go over here, we're going to send it to the back, and I'm going to Command and Shift click to select just those two, and I'm going to do Command Shift M to mask with shape. And so now if we double click on here, we see that this is masked. All right, perfect. So now we're just going to duplicate this artboard, and we're going to Command click to select just this shape, and we're going to drag it out so that it is completely full. Perfect. So now, as you can see, it is still masking with that shape since the shape takes up this whole width. And so now, whenever we go into prototype mode, we can drag this wire over to the second screen. We want to create a time trigger. So maybe after 1 second, we have it auto-animate. We don't really need any easing, but we want it to take maybe a good 3 seconds. I think that will look nice. Okay, perfect. So let's preview this animation. And there you go. It's as simple as that. Okay, so that was one example. Let's do something a little bit more fun. So I'm going to come down here and we'll go back into design mode, and I'm just going to get rid of these. And I'm going to create just a bunch of little circles, or big circles, I should say. So we'll make this one the green, get rid of the border. We'll make this one the red, and we'll make another one that is purple. Okay, cool. So we have this. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to make each of these move and morph colors upon animation. So to do that, what we have to do is the same thing we did up here, is create some gradient masks. So first I am going to do that for the first one. So we're going to go like this. And this is going to be the mask that we're going to use. So we're going to make this a gradient. So we'll choose this color for the start. And then what color do we want it to end on? I want to make it still look kind of subtle and nice. So we're going to choose this green color again, but this time we're going to move it to like a little bit greener and a little bit lighter so that it looks like that. Okay, perfect. So now what we'll do is make sure the circle is on top, and then we're going to do Command Shift M to mask with shape. So perfect. And what we can even do is drag this out more so that it looks like it's really just one solid color. So then once it morphs, it's going to be really obvious that it's Morphing Colors. Okay, so then hang tight, and I'm going to do that with the other 3 colors. Okay, awesome. So now that we have each of these as gradient masks, now what we're going to do is duplicate this artboard and move things around a little bit. So maybe we want this shape to kind of move down here, this shape to move up here, and this shape to move here. Okay, cool. So then now all we have to do is switch the color. So we've got this gradient already. All we have to do is move it so that it kind of slowly transitions into that color. So we're going to move each of these over, and all I'm doing is double clicking in order to access that color mask that I'm going to move around. Okay. Cool. So now let's wire this up and see how it looks. All right. I've got this wire over there for some reason. So now that it's wired up, we can do a time transition again. So we'll say delay like 0.5 seconds, auto-animate, easing. I think we want to, let's see, we'll try ease in and out. We might have to experiment. And I think we want it to just take like a good 1 second. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Cool, that worked really well. And so what we could do is sort of make them go back and forth. Like maybe this is something that happens like a loading screen again. Like maybe it's something that you're sort of looking at while you're waiting for something to load. So all we're doing is kind of wiring it back and forth. So let's go over here and really preview it this time. Cool. So one thing that's bothering me is that these seem to be kind of moving together. And so what I'm going to do is switch them around a little bit. So instead I want this one to actually go there and this one to just go here. So let's see what that looks like now. Cool. So now you can kind of see that they're crossing each other. Very cool. So now let's do something even more crazy. So now since you can see that they cross each other, I wonder what would happen if they overlapped a little bit and like the color showed through. So let's go back to design mode. And let's take this and instead of pass through, let's make it multiply or even color burn. Let's just try. We're going to do this one as color burn as well. Maybe multiply for this one. This one as overlay. You can't really see that. Hard light. Yeah, hard light was cool. Okay, so then we have to kind of do the same thing. So this one was color burn, so let's make this one color burn. This one was multiply. Make this multiply. And this one was hard light, so we'll make this one hard light. Okay, cool. Now let's see what happens when they overlap with each other. See, we have a little bit more visual interest happening when they overlap. Very cool. So again, I hope this just helps you learn that you can experiment so much with Adobe XD and create something really, really interesting that you may not have seen before. So I hope you play around with this technique, and if you do, share it with me on Instagram or Twitter, and I would love to see what you create. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!